We're going to see how many ideas we can come up with for Quentin Tarantino on what this show should be. Now, make no mistake. He would never take our ideas in a million years. He does homages to stuff that he loves, but this is just, we're going to just fantasy book, fan fiction of what, and I do warn you though, we might be right with one of these.
I doubt it, but let's give it a shot anyway.
You want to give it a whirl?
I don't know. I feel like Quentin's smarter than us, Jeff. He probably is gonna, but we could maybe throw some ideas out there.
Yeah, and and he just might be like, yeah, you're onto something. So
maybe we could make the special features.
Yeah, let's see if we can do it. So we'll start with Clucky because he already has two, and I want to. So you see one of them.
Clucky has the pitches.
Yeah, so he wants to make a pre-Pulp Fiction. So he wants 3. So he'll want. I guess this was 6 episodes that he's going to do, right? 8 episodes. Could you do 8 episodes of Vincent Vega, Marcellus Wallace, Mia Wallace, right? You can probably do 8 episodes of what got them to that point, right? The Vega brothers was always what was promised. And actually that was going to be one of my guesses of what it was going to be. It was going to be the long promised Vega brothers. And I don't think you're going to be able to use Travolta and Michael Madsen unless they're doing like Indiana Jones style and they're going to be flashing back to a younger version of them. But they did something similar with From Dusk Till Dawn series where they actually flash back to younger versions, right, of the show.
I didn't see that one. So you think he would do one of his established properties as a show?
I think that's, yeah. I think so for sure. I think I don't think it's going to be something completely new. It's going to be something new that's born out of something he already has established.
But you think it would be like an established character he would use actual established characters?
That's one of my guesses. Yeah, I got a couple of different ones, but that's one of them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I guess that's the closest one that I have that's going to be established.
Clucky says his second guess is Death Proof as well, 2 series? Death Proof as well as a series.
Death Proof as a series, yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, Reader, Death Proof as a series. Look, we talked about this on our Grindhouse spot last week. It's a great underestimated movie that unfortunately he has to list as his worst movie, and it's not even close.
He chooses to. I mean, that's what he picks out of his
and it's not.
Filmography. Yeah,
and it's not. So I would love to see some more Stuntman Mike. I'd have no problem. So those are good guesses for sure.
Yeah.
What's one? I got a couple more, but you throw one out there. Which one would you like to see?
Well, my guess is I don't think he's gonna do. For one, I feel like he's too close to his films to have one carry over to his show. I don't think that's a Quentin Tarantino thing. I think he was pretty separate. So I would say that he's going to do some sort of episodic. Not in the Netflix style that is happening today where it's an 8-hour movie. It's going to be 8 episodes of a show, each one with its own storyline and ending. More like an episodic of the old time where it was just like a 1-hour adventure a week.
8 movies, so eight short movies.
8 short movies.
Okay, and that's very possible, right? Because I mean, they tied it all together in Pulp Fiction, but those could have all been standalone with just mixed up, mixing characters.
I'm just saying, but like in the style of what we think a show is. I think he'll go out of his way to make sure that his show is a show and not an 8-hour movie.
Yeah. That totally makes sense, and he's done that, right? What's the name of the show that he's a fan of, and it's not the CSI. It's got Timothy Oliphant.
Justified.
Yeah,
Justified's great.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of Justified.
Yeah,
so I could see him doing that. I could see that, and then he still.
Did you watch Justified?
No,
I watched the first few seasons. It's good. It was great.
I've always heard great things, and Timothy Oliphant is a screen gobbler, man. Speaking of the Thanksgiving special, he's a screen gobbler. You see him, you want to see more. He's good. All right, I got a swing. This one's going to be a big swing because this one's going to require a big booking. What if he makes Bounty Law? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He literally goes back and makes that 60s Western that we watched, or 50s Western that we watched him make in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I think that's a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
Didn't he already write 4 episodes before the movie was even over?
Yeah. But would he book? You'd have to book Leo, right?
You would have to book Leo.
Yeah.
But he's has a relationship with Netflix and Tarantino. So I bet if Tarantino said, "You want to do the Bounty Law show?"
He's in.
They have money. They got money.
Now here's now, and I think I'd love to see it, and I'd watch it. But do you think they'd run into the same problem that the first 3 episodes of Wanda did? Because we didn't get the benefit of WandaVision. They filmed like this is the 50s, 60s, and 70s, but we didn't get any of the camera winks and even the Easter eggs were there. Is that going to work if we don't get to see Cliff Booth, and Rick Dalton, BTS? We're literally going to see what's his name when he played in Bounty Law.
I mean, that's a solid point. Would the audiences buy it? Would they be like, when you cut into the other guys, when you cut into reality,
right?
You know what I mean? They do something like that. So they might not get behind that one, but I could see it being a distinct possibility that was the show.
Doing it.
And he might have another angle on how to approach it.
Okay, yeah, that's all my only question. But I'm going to save the one that I want to see the most. But I'm going to let you pick. I'm going to let you go with one first.
I would see him doing some sort of, like I said, I feel like it would be more like an episodic with an adventure a week, and I think that it would be some sort of detective, some sort of show about like a guy who solves crimes somehow, with some sort of spin. Like they had the 60s, there was a lot of detective shows, but they weren't necessarily always detectives. Maybe it'll be something closer to like FBI, where FBI people are solving crimes. But I think it's going to be that. It's going to be a mystery a week.
And you said, I mean, and I think we've heard him talk about that, and he talks about it a little bit. He's a big fan of a lot of Hong Kong cinema, right? That had a lot that were based in those police trying to solve crimes. What was the movie? You told me it, and I already forgot the name of it last week. We were just talking about that. It's the Korean film that's out now.
Yeah.
What is the name of that movie?
Decision to Leave?
Decision to Leave.
Yeah.
That looks like something that he would love. And that looks like something.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. I love Park Chan-wook.
Yeah.
But I really think that he's going to very much lean into not doing a movie, and he's going to do, like, he won't take any inspiration from any movies. He will make it a point to say, I'm not even though he's the known borrower, he's not going to borrow from movies. He's going to borrow from TV shows.
And that makes sense. He probably has a plethora of those stored away in his head just as much as he does.
I mean, I don't know what is Mannix about. I don't know. That's what Cliff is watching. It's going to be like Mannix.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's just going to be good. Because the whole thing about it is he creates these characters because of these small little tweaks that he adds to their performance. I was actually watching that, and I used it today. Shout out to Sean Dahlberg. I used it today because it was just like, what am I going to be doing if Sean's not around there? And I automatically went to Confused Travolta. And do you think John Travolta was improv when he's like, I need you to look confused? Or I can actually see Tarantino, who doesn't do line readings for his performers, but he knows exactly what he wants. I can see him doing it because it was such a distinct, like, what do I do here? So I think it's those small little things that he does that he gets out of their actors, and either they get it or they don't get it. But most of the people that work with him, clearly they get it, because out of all directors, he has to have the most return players, like multiple players. It's not just one player.
Well, I mean, I think most good directors get return players.
Yeah.
Or one successful directors.
Yeah.
Good directors is debatable, right?
But
like,
Confused Travolta, man.
Yeah. No, it's a good meme. Solid meme.
It is. All right, I got one. And this is, I got to put on my marking out hat. I'm definitely going to mark out. Should we put some, I wish we had I'm about to mark out Sting, because I'm about to mark out, because this is the one that I really, really want. Because we know he can only do 10 films, and everybody's like trying to shoot. That's like trying to figure out who's the fourth head on Mount Rushmore. And this is the one everybody wants. It's already written. He wrote it in there. It's got to be Kill Bill Volume 3.
As his final movie?
No.
Or his final show?
I think you only need, you can basically, you have her as a little girl. She's going to be growing up and going for revenge on the bride.
Yeah.
You can do that in 8 episodes, and you can actually do it very much like House of the Dragon did. So you can start off right after that, when she's little, and you show her upbringing, similar to how he did. We got the origin story of Oren Ishii in Kill Bill, but he just did it in the version of anime. You can show her growing up and everything she gets to, so you really don't have to book Uma Thurman till the end, and you really don't even have to. You're not going to have to de-age her at all. This will be just like current times. You knew I was coming to get you. If anything, you would actually add more age to her. And that's how you get around that. But I feel like you're right. Like he's making it a point that this is going to be a TV series. And I think people are going to be like, oh, no, that's Kill Bill Volume 3 is going to be a movie. Are we ever going to get that?
Well, I mean, it's a possibility that could be his final movie. He hasn't written it out. And I think his last movie is going to be... I think his last movie is going to be something he hasn't done before, which... I mean, obviously, if he does Kill Bill 3, that's like a trilogy. So now he has a trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never
If
done
he
it.
does... He could do like a remake of one of his own movies with new actors. Like I thought it would be cool to do Reservoir Dogs, but it's just about the bank robbery.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
Because we never see the bank robbery. Or something like that, or Reservoir Dogs with different actors, or some commercial property that he remakes. Well,
we have that dropping tomorrow. If you didn't catch the show last week, don't forget to hit those reminders. We are going to be dropping Mario's fantastic idea of Quentin Tarantino doing Rambo First Blood.
I mean, that's not my idea. He said it himself.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, you haven't seen his interview of what he would like to. Yeah, no, that's his idea.
Wow, I didn't know that was on the list.
Yeah, and he's the one that cast Adam Driver. I mean, he said he would do it with Adam. Like, he would be awesome to do First Blood with Adam Driver.
Yeah, no, it was a really good piece of content. I'm glad we didn't do it. I'm glad we got to do that. Anthony said, I remember he was 13 and went to see Late Mom. Sorry about that. Kill Bill was her favorite. Yeah, Kill Bill was good. Were you part of the camp that a lot of people were like, I liked part 1 less than I liked part 2? Like they picked favorites on volume 1 and volume 2, where I kind of went in realizing that I kind of knew the backstory, and I'm like, I'm watching the same movie. It's just one long movie.
Well, I don't know what internet year that was, but like the script, the full script had leaked online already, and I read the full script. It was like the best script I ever read.
Wow.
So I knew going off from the whole time that it was a movie cut in half,
Yeah.
And I would argue, yes, the second one is better than the first one because it's where it's the second half of the movie.
Story. Yeah.
It's where everything is resolved, right?
Got it. That makes sense.
But like, yeah, I mean, it's 2 halves of a movie. They didn't want to do a 4-hour movie.
And I'm still waiting for that Blu-ray where they just have that, because it's just one bridge scene that they really need, right? And then it's connected.
I mean, no, it's connected. Like Tarantino has a print of the whole movie.
Man,
he plays it at New Beverly sometimes.
Yeah, that's on our list of our movie tour across there. I would love to see it, man. I was a huge, I get a craving every time I see that for some kind of like Mongolian barbecue. Like, did you ever hear the story of like where they're filming, and it was like some of the late night scenes, and he's like pretty open. It was like, yeah, we just get around. We had a big bonfire. We're literally just kicking different types of proteins on the fire and smoking weed, in a different countries. Like, it was very surreal. So every time I see that, I was like, man, I need to get some barbecue or something. Like, that story sticks in my head.
Yeah.
All right, you got another one?
I mean, not specifically as far as what it would be. Well, I think I could see it being again, I think it's going to be some sort of takeoff on some sort of episodic,
Yeah.
I could see it being a war show, something about combat.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be a detective show, but I'm trying to think of what is there very many. I can't think of any old crime shows. Crime show is a genre that. I almost said Police Squad. Is Police Squad a crime show? It is a crime show, technically. Yeah.